Out in the wasteland, DayZ world's a fucked up maze. Nowhere to turn when betrayal's the only phase. Streets soaked in blood, trust is dead, left to decay. Fuck these cunts who stabbed my back, now they all pay.
Hello, welcome to Drew's Tools. We're doing a DrewZ ReTeX Ultra tutorial today. Now, I've done an update from the last one, so I had to do a new tutorial. The first two tutorials that will be linked above this one are still relevant. Just I need to add an extra bit of information for my last tutorial, where I have added the ability to attach attachments, put attachments to clothing and add cargo, so you can have an inventory for your clothing. Attachments could work for weapons too, though got to keep in mind these aren't visual attachments, these are only back-end attachments. So it's just set up through script to allow placement of attachments and whatnot, but you won't visually see them in-game. That involves a fair bit more work. I will eventually try and look into that, but it will be a more advanced feature, as this program is designed for user-friendly use. It's meant for easy use, straightforward, get it done. But I am implementing more advanced options to it. But for now, I'm just going to quickly show you how to find attachments, what you're looking for, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to go through two things, the belt and a vest. So what I want to do is go to characters. This is where all the clothing is, categorized by where it attaches to. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, as it's in my previous video linked above. Alright, so we'll go belts, and we go down to config.cpp. And in here you will find attachments right there. So these attachments right here, belt back, that's a sheath, where you put the sheath for your knife. Right is where you put your holster for your handgun, and the left is for your canteen, where you slide your canteen in. And then you got other things like, for example, we'll go to the vests, and we have for the press one, you just got grenades, 4 different grenade slots. And if we go up, this one has a backpack one, which is because it's a Smursh vest. It has the butt pack as well. Alright, so also I've implemented the option of ground textures too. So when it comes to adding the ground texture in, it will now actually apply with a ground texture if you want it to. So it will look much better on the ground than my previous version. Alright, so let's get into it. From that information, we want to also set up just a pre-setup folder just for setting this up, so we can test it out, make sure everything's working right. I think I've got something in here already for testing up. Alright, sweet, fresh, ready to go. So I've got my templates. I'm going to be using the shirts today just to run a test. I'll also run a gun, I think, as well on the M4, just to show you how that works as well. I've got my folder for my textures, and I have an icon to show you how icons work as well. Alright, so let's get into this. Start up DayZ ReTeX Ultra. Alright, now that it's open, log in. Got it started up. It's pretty simply laid out. So you got your toolbar up the top, you have your viewer here, you have your basic options down here, got an options menu and your layers menu. Layer menu is rather I wouldn't say useless at the moment, but it's not overly optimized and functional. It's mainly here so you can remove text and images, icons, when you don't want them, which we'll get into a little bit later. Options, you can change your theme, whatever theme you want. This will come into play a little bit later. Ensure you do select your DayZ tools directory if it prompts you to. It should prompt you that it can't auto detect it. But just in case it doesn't, it might be safe just to select your DayZ tools. So we got our two first options. Now these are our options for our templates. These are the images we want to retexture. So I'm doing a shirt today. So let's go, shirt and an M4. Go to my templates where I have them. I've got the shirt. Now this is the texture that will be on the player. And then we got the ground texture. This will be what it looks like on the ground. So we got our two templates there. Now we want to go to select texture folder. We want to go to the folder with our textures in it. As you can see, I have 5 textures in that one. Shows up on both. Then I want to go to select output folder. Now for this one, I got tutorial test for that, and I'm going to use tutorial test 2 for the M4. As this will create a separate mod each time you do a retexture, you will have to combine them if you want to combine them into one mod, and I'll show you how to do that when we're finished. So once you've done that, you can scan for duplicates as well. Mine won't do anything because I don't have any duplicates, but if it does, it will prompt you to either exclude or delete. If you exclude, it will just exclude them from the process. It won't delete them though, and if you delete them, it will just remove any duplicates. Now that detects them from hash. It still could miss some duplications if they are running a different hash, as they might be a copy of an image made into a new image. It might not be able to pick that up, but yeah. So next we've got blending mode. As I'm using black and white texture, I've turned all my templates into black and white to make it easier for my textures to blend to it. If you're using a darker texture, I would use screen or overlay. It would work better, but because I'm using a black and white setup, multiply is best for it. Now, you can start to see the detail in it a bit there. It is harder to see on these sort of textures because it's got background behind it, which will get textured in as well. It won't affect the output of the image, but it does make it harder to see what you're retexturing. You can see it a bit better in something like this. So you can see the outline of the shirt going down, the outline of the shirt and whatnot. I think the sleeves are over here somewhere. But if you are having trouble seeing it, just remember you can go to the brightness, adjust to all, turn up your brightness, turn down your contrast. And you'll be able to see the template a lot better. This is more for when you are setting up icons and text, which I'm about to do. So I want to select an icon to add to it. Now with the icons, you can resize them by holding Control and going up or down. So I want to resize it to about there. That's pretty good by me. Now you can also go up to the uniform resize locked and unlock it, which will allow you to resize it independently on the sides, like so. So I can zoom right in. I can now resize them on different scales of sides and whatnot. But I'm going to keep it like that. Now I'm going to put some text in here as well. I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to call it admin. Oh, missed the I there, admin. Now, as you can see, it's very small. Best way to set this up is select the move tool. This is also a selection tool. I do need to update it, figure out a new name for it. But select the text, then you can resize it. Let's go 75 starters. It's too big, but that's alright. We'll look into some other things. You can change the color size. We'll make it yellow. There's not much yellow on here. Then you can change the font, which you can also change the size as well. At the moment it's set to 75 regular. I'm going to change it to bold italic. I don't want it 75. Let's put it down to 48. You can put a strikeout through it, or you can underline it, writing system, Latin, whatnot. But I'm just going to keep it like that. I'm happy with that. Put that over here. Now the first time you move it, it will do that little glitch where it throws it off a bit, but just move it back to where it is. Now you can also rotate. So to do that, you got to hold shift and rotate, and that's for both text and image. Just like so. Alright. And same with the icon. But that's about it for the icons and text, so it's pretty straightforward. Let's turn this back up a bit. Turn that down a bit. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little less contrast. Yeah, alright, I'm happy with that. Now, once you've done that, now you want to set a base name. This has been pretty foolproofed, so you can't really make too many mistakes with the names and the text on this because I've removed the options to make mistakes. I'm sure there's something I've probably missed, but the name should be pretty good. I doubt anyone's going to make a mistake with this. Simple, stick to English, no spaces, no special characters, A to Z, 0 to 9 sort of thing, but it shouldn't allow you to put anything else in anyway. So I'm going to put this as, because this is going to be the name of the images and the class names that you will need to look for to be able to spawn them, for example. I'm going to name them MM from mutated mods, just so it's a tag for me to find, and I'll call it t-shirt. Now, you don't need to put anything else after this. Now, keep in mind it's going to create 5 different textures, so that's 5 different class names. It's going to add numbers to the end. It's going to add an underscore, 1, 2, 3, etc. 4, 5. And then for the ground, it's going to add a G to them as well. So you can specify the ground textures. But once you have all that set up, all you need to do is go to blend it to all, blend all to template, which will blend all the textures to the template. Pretty simple process, won't take long. It'll run through 5 and then it will do the ground ones. Beautiful. Alright, so now that that's done, we can then move on to, also there's a reset option, so you can reset this whole thing at any stage. You need to restart, something's not right, reset. So you can go to options here, you can go to convert to PAA. These are 3 separate options that you can do. The first one by itself, just convert to PAA, and it will just convert the images to a PAA. You can generate scripts. To generate scripts, you need to convert to PAA first. So you need to have both of these ticked. It works as stages. Each next stage needs the previous stage. So if you want to pack into mod, you need all 3 on, or else it just won't work. As you can see, it won't let me click any of them. Won't let me click any of them until the previous one is clicked. Once you've done that, it then allows you to access these information. If you don't click them and open this button, none of this will be, it won't allow you to touch any of it. Now, as you can see, it's already pre-set up. This will save your previous settings, as long as you don't reset it before you shut it down. Whatever you have it set to when you close the program, it will save that information for next time. So this is all set up for me already, but I'm going to run you through it so you understand. So we got equipment category up the top here. We got weapons and clothing and gear. We're doing clothing, so we need to make this clothing and gear. As clothing and gear and weapons, completely different configs, completely different scripts. So we've got to make sure, well, not completely, but they are structured differently and they require different calls, classes and whatnot. So yeah, make sure you pick the right one. Dependent mod, it's optional because this is for when you're retexturing other mods. If you're retexturing something in another mod, what you want to do is you want to go to its config.cpp. You want to go to CFG patches. You want to find this right here. This, it won't be this, of course, it'll be whatever they put in the mod. It can be anything. But you want to find this, and you want to copy that out of the mod, and you want to put that in here. But because we are doing DayZ, we don't need to put anything in there. Mod name, now this is what the mod's going to look, the mod folder is going to be named at the end of it. it'll be at mutated underscore, well, it will be also mutated underscore t-shirt for the source folder, and the pack folder will be at mutated underscore t-shirt. The parent class, now this is the class you want to be extending from, creating your retexture from. This is the class you're retexturing. For clothing, you want to be looking at the base class. 9 times out of 10, when retexturing clothing, you want to extend the base class. When you're doing guns, you want to retexture the actual extended class. So when you're doing like the M4, which I'll show you soon, you wouldn't put in the M4A1 underscore base. You would just put in M4A1. Because if you just extend it from the base, you'll be missing a lot of properties that are actually put into the extended class, which is needed. So make sure when you're doing the clothing, pick the base class, guns, the extended class. Now then we come down to the hidden selections. Now this is a little bit tricky, but it's pretty simple once you understand it. Every single texture requires a hidden selection when you're retexturing. You cannot retexture without hidden selections. This is what allows it to retexture. This one has 4 hidden selections, but it has one very unique selection. You'll see that I put an asterisk at the end of ground. And this isn't overly unique. This is unique with my program. This is just to indicate to my program that this is the ground hidden selection that needs to be attached to the ground texture. That's all this means. That just makes sure if you have a ground texture selected in here, you got that in there, you need to put an asterisk at the end of whatever hidden selection. It may not be camo ground, especially if it's a modded one. It may not be camo ground. It may be something completely different. But you need to make sure whatever the ground model is, texture is attached to, has that attached to it. And then we go to just the standard male, female, and then we have the personality. Now, personality is the very unique one. You won't find this in a lot of retextures. This is in basically just for like shirts, and I think shorts have them too. Like shorts that aren't long. Not pants. You will need to add a special indicator at the end of this one too, as this can't create a texture pathway. Personality is the only hidden selection that doesn't require a corresponding texture. Every other one does. Personality does not, as it's the skin. If you don't add personality, the skin is either invisible or it's just a weird texture, because it needs personality to add skin. But because we've added this to the end of it, it won't create an actual texture pathway, which is good. Alright, so then we can go down to inventory size. I want to make it 10 by 10. So that's 100 slots of inventory size. Now I want to add an attachment. I've got a couple of examples here, pistol, knife. I'm just going to put in knife. Actually, I'll put in both. Just make sure you put the comma and the space in between. I mean, you don't have to put a space in between. I just recommend it. It's neater. It looks nice. When we come down to the types file options, we go to the types category. We want clothing. We want that on the floor, not on a shelf. And we want that to probably be military. And let's make that hunting as well. Now you could put in something else like, for example, town. Same concept, comma, town. And we'll just leave it in there for this one. And then you could pick a tier in which it was spawned. I'm just going to leave it open so it can spawn anywhere. Then you can come down to your key. Now, it's already selected my existing key, as I've already done this before. But I'm going to create a new key just to show you how that's done. It's very simple. You literally just put in whatever you want. Once again, follow rules, no spaces, English, whatnot. But once again, it shouldn't allow you to do anything else. As you can see, it won't let me put spaces in, won't let me put illegal characters in. All it'll let me do is put numbers, letters, and underscore, which is pretty much what we want. So we call this a mutated test key. Alright, and once you have all that set up, it's straight up, just hit OK, and we're ready to go. There's nothing else you really need to do here, except decide whether or not you want it to reset on completion. I want it to reset on completion because I am setting up the M4 next. I don't want to have to restart the program or reset everything, so just reset on completion. You also, let's explain the layers quickly. Like I said, this doesn't do much. Most of the settings you shouldn't really mess with. Like, I wouldn't unclip anything. They're clipped for a reason. It's more for people who know what they're doing with this stuff. You will need to reclip it if you unclip it, but probably not a good idea. If you want to remove an icon or whatnot, this is how you do it. Delete layer, but understand that if you delete these layers after you have blended them, which we've already done, you will have to go back and reblend them because they're already set up. As you can see, we'll go into here. They're already been made, all ready to go. So go back to, don't even have to go back to anything. Once you got all your options set up, just hit pack in the mod. It'll run through the textures, and then it'll generate scripts, and then it'll pack it all into a mod. We can even open up the folder and have a look at it, what's doing it. There we go. Generated type file, it's generated the source folder, and now it's generated the keys backup and your packed mod folder. So this is your source folder here, types file, your packed mod folder, and your key backups. So your new keys being backed up in here, and now you can reuse this key as much as you want. Keep in mind that if you're going to be creating a lot of mods and they're going to have the same key name, make sure you are using the existing key. Because if you're creating new keys, even if they have the same name from the same computer, they're registered differently and they will conflict. Make sure of that. Make sure you put this into a safe place so you always got it when you need it. Alright, now we got our source folder. You can go in here and look at all the results of everything. There's your 10 textures, your ground textures, and your main textures. You can go into your config.cpp. You can learn from this, see how it's all set up. You can make your own retextures from scratch. You can see it's got the ground texture on the first line, which we have ground texture on the first line, male, female, which those two don't really matter. And then it doesn't have that personality texture, the fourth one, which is good. We don't want that. We just want that personality in there, but not a texture with it. It has its own texture built into it. One of the rare ones that do. So from that point on, yeah, that mod is good to go. We can now just chuck that straight into a server and it's good to go. But we're not going to do that straight away. We're going to do the M4 quickly. So since you've already know the process, I'm not going to muck around with this. I'm going to smash this out real quick. Go template, M4. One moment. Here I am saying I'm going to go real quick and then my computer freezes. Come on. There we go. Alright, so there's the M4. Now I don't need a ground model for that because the ground model and the actual texture is exactly the same. So we want to go to select texture, same textures. There we go. Now it's already kept the multiply. That's the one thing that doesn't reset. Now output, we want to change the output folder to that one. And once again, blend all to template when you got every. Oh, I need to end a base name. That's probably a good idea. And we're going to call this M4. M4A1, yeah. Alrighty, so blend all to template. There we go, it's working. Alright. Now that that's done, once again, same process, options, convert, generate. I'm going to turn that off because I want the settings to stay. Then configure. Now this is weapons, so we keep that the same. Want to change this to mutated M4 A1 and parent class. So like I said before, with weapons you want to get the extended class. Now let's get in a bit more detail with that so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now I showed you what a base class is with the vest. I think I did with the belt as well. But you go to the config.cpp and you'll see this up here is the base of the M4. As you can see, M4A1 base has a lot of information. Actually, the only thing you need to worry about in here is the camo. You're going to need that. That's the hidden selection for it because it only has one texture. But you want to copy this name. This is what you want to use as your parent class name. You just want to use M4A1. So go to here, we type in M4A1. Now we want to go to the hidden selections, which was just one hidden selection, camo. Remember, it has to be exactly the same as what's in here. So if there's a capital in it, make sure there's a capital exactly where it has in here. It's got to be exactly the same. Then we want to, don't worry about this, of course. That doesn't apply to weapons. We go down to here. We want to select weapons on the floor, military. Don't want to change any of that. And I'm going to go existing key this time and use the key that we just created. So I want to go to here, key backups. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, then select OK, back in the mod. Now in that short time we just did 5 retextures. That's 5 M4s. Retextured with 5 different textures. Didn't take long at all. Now if we include the last little tutorial with the t-shirt, we've done 15 retextures. Well, yeah, that's just including the ground. So sorry, let's 10 retextures. 10 retextures all up. Alright, so that's done. All finished. Close that down now. Go into here and we can see that it's all ready to go. It's got its textures, types file, source folder, keys, which doesn't back up keys that are existing. It would just keep them, it puts them back where they are, and your mod folder. So we're just going to quickly put this into DayZ for a test run. Just double check. Beautiful. Alright. I already got them loaded up, I believe, from my last test. But I will show you how to load them up. So once you get up DayZ, I highly recommend getting DayZ Editor for testing things like this. It's perfect for retexture testing or small testing, things like that don't require a server side, which this doesn't. So when you're looking for a mod, you go to local mod, and then you want to find the mod that you want to add to it. So this one I need to actually go to here, and I would need to select this folder here and select. I'm not going to worry about it because I've already got it. Actually, no, I will need to select it because it's from a different one. It's from my P drive. So load up and remove that one. Alrighty, and that one should be right. And we'll play and see how it goes. Like I said, once you have finished the process of using my program and it says it's done, it's literally drag and drop. Drag into your server and she's ready to go. Keep in mind, this doesn't retexture everything. I still need to put a lot of work in to make it retext more unique things. Not everything's the same, unfortunately. And I'm trying to keep this program as simplified as possible to make it as easy for people to use. But unfortunately, the more I add, the more complicated it will get. But I'm going to try and make all those options optional. Alright, so you hopefully won't seem as complicated. Do my best, guys. Do my best. Oh, guys and ladies. Alright, so then we want to go to load Chinaris or whatever map you want to test this on. Since we're doing retexture, it doesn't matter what map you're testing on. Alright, beautiful, we're in. Alright, so we hit space so we can look around, get free camera. Then we want to hit space again, go up to search, and everything was put under underscore. And then we can hit T, which will teleport my, oh, it didn't teleport my player. Alright, then we go down to the shirts, there you go, you can see the shirts, nicely retextured. Put them all down. Down some of them, and then we'll go to the M4, M4, A1, there we go. I won't put all them down either. Let's have a quick look at them. As you can see, worked out pretty well. Got your logo, got your admin, then you can get the gun. See, it's got the texture on it nicely. Keep in mind that the textures I used were pretty low quality, so you won't see any great detail on them. But yep, you still see the detail through the textures. It shows up nicely, it's not just a plain texture. Keep in mind all the attachments are different, are considered different items. So if you want to retexture them, you have to do them independently, unfortunately. So the handguards, magazines, buttstocks, suppressors, anything like that, that is individual. It's not part of the actual gun model class, so it has to be done separately. But yeah, textures are working great, except for that one apparently. And that one. Okay, let's check on that. I think that might have been lag. Yeah, it was. It's just lag. My computer for you, sorry guys. For a second I thought it wasn't working. It's working just fine, it's just I got a really bad computer. That's what any donation I get's going to, a new computer. Look at that. Beautiful. Alrighty, so yeah, that's it. It's everything really. I can't really think of anything else to really show you about it. Yeah, if you got any questions, just let me know. Swing a support ticket, I'll do my best. Got full support. Just keep in mind there still is bugs. I know there is one bug in particular where when you go to load up the selected texture folder, sometimes it will offset it from the actual template. I'm still trying to figure out why that's happening. I still haven't been able to pinpoint it. It seems quite random. At least it seems that way. I'm sure it's not, but it seems that way. I just can't pinpoint exactly what's causing it. But hopefully I'll have that sorted by next update. But it is a rare thing to happen. It's only happened to me twice. And I have done this a lot. So just keep in mind, there are still bugs. There's probably other bugs too that I haven't mentioned, that I can't think of, that I haven't come across yet. So anything that you do come across, don't hesitate to let me know, because I might not know about it. Yeah, thank you very much. I hope this is of good use to you, and yeah, enjoy. Hello again. I just quickly, I forgot to show you how to combine mods. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that before I actually finish this tutorial. So let's say I want to create a new folder. I'm going to call that mutated mods. Mutated mods. Alright, so this is going to be my mod folder. So I want to go into each finished packed mod folder that I want to combine. So I want to do the t-shirts, I want to go into the add-ons, and I want to select both of them. Copy. And then we want to put that into here under the same setup. So add-ons, keys, and we want to put it in there. Now you got to make sure that you're using the same key, and if you're not using the same key, you got to make sure you're putting in both keys, or however many keys you're using. So then I want to go to the M4 one. Now I'm going to go in here. They're using the same key, so I don't need to stress too much on that. I want to go back to this, go back to this, and place that in there. Now we have put both of them into one pack now. 2 PBOs, one pack. Doesn't cause any problems, it just combines them, makes them into one mod. Alright, so I just wanted to show you how to quickly set that up, and yeah, that's it. Thank you. Alright, bye.
Out in the wasteland, DayZ world's a fucked up maze. Nowhere to turn when betrayal's the only phase. Streets soaked in blood, trust is dead, left to decay. Fuck these cunts who stabbed my back, now they all pay.